Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. आज कुर्सी बदल दी क्या? कुर्सी बदल दी? हाँ? चोरी पकड़ ली. Sri Krishna Narayana. Anything which is dependent on other is the source of all miseries. In Mahabharata, there is a statement, Sarvam Paravasham Dukkham, Sarvam Atmavasham Sukham. Dependence is misery, independence is freedom. That is why we were all struggling for independence. And then there were many freedom fighters. We got the freedom, but the fighting continues. See the beauty? So, these three factors that we have seen till yesterday, under the main topic knowledge. Knowledge about what? Knowledge about what the world is, knowledge about what we are, knowledge about what the God is. Gujarati God is English God. Isn't it? So, these are the three factors. And these three factors are mutually dependent. So, the world is meaningless without somebody to play the game of life in this world, called as the Jiva or the individual souls. And their relationship cannot be properly controlled unless there is an umpire, controller called as the Ishvara, the God. So these are three mutually dependent things. It is something like this, if this chair has got 4 legs, and if one leg is pulled, all the 3 are also influenced because they are dependent on each other. Now, the fourth factor, which is to be recognized. About this, I remember once I had told you a story. Once we were taken to show some hydroelectric power plant. So they took us, and then this is the collection of water, and through that tunnel the water comes with tremendous speed and is bombarding on the turbine wheels, and the turbine wheels keep on moving. As a result, the electrical energy is generated, so water energy is converted into electrical energy, and then that electrical energy is supplied. And if there is no sufficient water, there won't be the force, there won't be electrical energy. This is what the teacher told us. Now, I being awfully intelligent, ask a question. Any question, students? Yes, I got a question. What is the question? Once they start that turbine, now electricity is being produced. Why don't they connect that electricity to the turbine and it continues? No problem of water. See how simple it is. Because that electrical energy will keep the turbine moving, and the turbine will go on producing electricity, and in this way it goes on and on and on. So when I asked this question, my friend said, hey, really good idea. Why not try? In the same manner, these three things, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, they are possible to exist in mutual dependence if they are supported by something which is independent. Independent existence is necessary for the relative performance. It is something like this. Unless there is a man, there cannot be a husband. First, unless there is a woman, there cannot be a husband. So, husband is a relative dependent entity. See? And therefore they are miserable. See? So, husband is dependent on two things. One conditioning, the wife, and other reality, the man. If the wife goes away, she takes the husband in her purse. But the man remains behind. Please try to get this point. We are born not as husbands. Therefore, being husband is an abnormality. It is not natural condition. Naturally, we are all bachelors. Naturally, when you go in unnatural condition, it is painful, isn't it? Normally, we stand on two legs. It's natural, no problem. But when we do the headstand position, it's painful. So, coming to the point, these three factors, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the individuals, the world and the God who is their controller, they are supported by the fourth independent factor, and that is the absolute reality. Now I'll give an example and then we'll enter the definition. My most pet example is that of the water, the ocean and the waves. Waves are existing on the ocean. Without ocean, waves are not possible. But the ocean can exist without the waves. Therefore, ocean is the cause and waves are the effect. First position. Second thing. When we are saying that ocean is the cause and waves are the effect, so there is a mutual dependence, cause and effect relationship. But the truth is what? The truth is, ocean is also water and the waves are also water. So, where is the ocean and where are the waves? They are in our mouth. Because waves and ocean, these are only words. When we are touching the ocean, we are touching the waters. When we are playing with the waves, we are playing with the water. So what we have done? We have called the water two names. Sometimes we call that water as ocean, sometimes we call the same water as wave. Therefore, cause and effect, ocean and wave, this mutual dependence is supported by something which is independent of this cause and effect. And that is the water, and water is the reality. Ocean and the waves is only superimposed, spoken by us. See how important it is. If this is clear, now the teacher says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. Hey Dhananjaya, Dhananjaya means what? He who has qualified himself for the study, understanding and practice. This is the meaning of Dhananjaya. Dhana, you have to understand an unwritten word there as Sa. Sa Dhananjaya. He who is qualified to practice. See, if I have to participate in a marathon cross-country race, what is the requirement? I should have two healthy legs. No, I don't have proper legs. Then why we should take you? Reservation quota. See? You can befool the government and the people. You can befool yourself. But on the spiritual path, please remember, there is no reservation For the grahasthas or for the sannyasis. You have to walk your life. You have to live your life. You have to die your death. No proxy. So, he Sadhananjaya, he who is qualified, he who is capable, he who is desirous, he who is willing, he who is committed, he who really wants to make the best of his life, to him this is addressed. Dhananjaya, see, such a simple word. Therefore, please remember, we are talking about the scientific art of living. In science, other than the admission, there is no quota reservation. Isn't it? The secrets of the nature or the nature's laws are not revealed by reservation. Please remember, get out of that kind of obsession. Many grahasthas, when they come and meet us, they say, Swamiji, but for the average man, Bhagavad Gita is very difficult. So what should the average man do? Average man is created for suffering. Be very clear. To be average is not a qualification. If you want the highest, you must be qualified. Let us not have the self-pity. Oh God, I am good for nothing. I am terribly papi. Then go to hell. No. Please take me there. Imagine if the God will start collecting all the papis with him through the back door entry. The Swarga will be hell. Please understand. So, hey Dhananjaya, be very firm on this path. Now, he tells three things. Mattaha parataram, mattaha anyat, and mattaha kinchit nasti. Three things. Superior than me, there is nothing. Like me, there is nothing. And inferior than me, there is nothing. See? How simple it is. The water says, superior than me, there is nothing. Like me, there is nothing. And inferior than me is nothing. What the wave will say? Superior than me is ocean, the God. He is the creator. And what the ocean will say? I, the creator, created this world, ye sinners. How we are sinners? Because I have created you. Think. But when the water has to speak, he will never recognize I, the ocean, as the creator, and I, ocean, as the waves. No, for him, waves and ocean, they are equal. Where cause and effect is one, there we have established the non-dual reality, and that is the absolute. So, mattaha parataram. There is no cause of me. Uncaused existence is the reality. Therefore, truth is not the result of our spiritual practice. Even if you don't want, you are the truth. See the bold statement. So, mattaha parataram and mattaha anyat. When there is none like me, other, what is the result? Result is no competition. Uncompetitive, fulfilled existence is the reality. Go to the Western overdeveloped world. You know, there are overdeveloped countries, underdeveloped countries. Our India is never developed country. Do you know why never developed? Development is possible if there is something lacking. In India, nothing is lacking. You get the wonderful computers in the Bhangarwala shop. Isn't it? You do get. And this is possible only in the prosperous country. And you get the beggars on the road cleaning your car with a dirty cloth. See, both extremes. So, Anyat, there is none like me, and therefore there is no competition. When competitions disappear from our life, you are relaxed. Go to the Western overdeveloped world, they use a term. They say, here we burn out. See, particularly the software industry, there, by the time a person has attained 35, he is retired. He is completely burnt out. Nothing is left. And then constant competition. Where there is competition, there is jealousy, envy, and all kinds of malpractices to prove my might. See? And therefore, in that state of our absolute being, there is none other than me. Be very attentive. Will a father compete with his own son? On the contrary, when the father gets defeated by the better performance of his own son, he discovers fulfillment in the defeat from his own son. When you grow to that stature of absolute being, you will be always happy in the prosperity of others. Normally, when we see somebody prosperous, what is our interaction? Malum hai, table ka niche. See? We are not able to do even table ka niche or above. We are like the paperweights on the table. Therefore, friends, this is the second aspect of the truth. So, one, there is no superior cause, therefore you are not living under fear. Wherever there is anybody superior on your head, you will be living in fear. There was a person who went to an office. He was wanted to meet the boss. The boss wanted to avoid him. So he told the secretary, when that man comes, tell I am not here. So the secretary, she said, no, sir is not here. Come tomorrow. So he said, anyway, I'll wait. Maybe he comes, who knows, and I have no work to do. So he sat in that room, newspaper and all that. One after another newspaper started from the first page to the last page. Half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. Now that boss was locked in. When he told that I am not there, what to do now? So then he called the secretary and said, why this man doesn't go? Tell him that I am not here. So again she says, see, gentlemen, we told you, sir is not here. Why don't you go? Come tomorrow. I'll leave your name, your card, everything. He said, see, look here, you may tell me the boss is not here, but I know he's here. He said, how do you say he is here? See, everybody is on the table and they are working. See, wherever there is somebody on your top, you function under fear. Mattaha parataram nasti. Therefore, realization of the truth is an expression of fearless existence. Fearless existence means what? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, in his one of the places, writes so beautifully. He speaks in your road. We may be extremely courageous, not getting influenced by any terrible calamities. The tigers and the lions, not the lion club members, the real lions. The tigers and the lions and the elephants and the snakes and the vultures, because I am fearless. Except mosquitoes, they are so terrible. Isn't it? So, when we said, Mattaha parataram nasti, the declaration is fearless existence. Second, mattaha anyad nasti, there is non-competitive fulfilled existence. See the beauty. And third, mattaha kinchin nasti, there is no effect of me. See, the result is, the truth alone is which is beyond cause and effect. Now, what is the meaning beyond cause and effect? Where is the cause and effect existing? Cause and effect are existing only in the intellect. They are nowhere. Because when I look at the water and name it as ocean, and when I look at the water and call it as the wave, and then it is my responsibility to establish the relationship between the two expressions of the same reality, the water, and then I say that ocean is the cause and wave is the effect, and discover I am very intelligent. Therefore, intelligent people are extremely logical and extremely logically miserable. This is how they ask question. Swamiji, under this condition, will not anybody be miserable? That means I am miserable is logically right. See the disgust. Therefore, please remember, if we want to discover the truth, if we really want to live scientifically perfect, get beyond this cause and effect clutch in which we ourselves have put ourselves. So, mattaha parataram, mattaha anyat, mattaha kinchin nasti dhananjaya. Then what is this whole tamasha going on? Mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Suppose in this garland, as you can see, the flowers are separate from each other. But what is our experience now? There is a continuity of all the flowers. So individual flowers are separate from each other, but they are brought together by a continuous thread. Now the teacher gives this example. Suppose money, the beads, are made out of gold. And the thread which passes through is also made out of the same gold. So what we will say? The money, the beads are supported by the thread which is the support. So the support and supported difference does not exist in the gold. Gold is the support and gold is the supported. What is that which has made the difference between the support and the supported? Think. When we call the gold as a bead and when we call the same gold as a thread, this bead and thread, these two words have created an illusion of support and supported. When we call the gold as gold, it is an honor to the gold. When we call the gold as a bead or as a thread, it is an abuse to the gold. Whenever we call names to somebody, do we get reward in terms of appreciation? See? Whenever we call names to somebody, we get kicks. In the same manner, be very attentive. These three factors, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, thus individual souls, the world and the creator, all these three beads are supported by me, the thread. And from the limitations point of view, I am called as a soul. From the quality of the limitations, I am called as the limiting factors, the world. And from the governor point of view, I am alone called as the Ishvara. See, the gold says, when your attention is on the round things, I am called as the beads. When your attention is on the thread, I am called as gold. I am called as the thread. But in truth, the gold alone is real. In the same manner, if we look at the world and start experiencing the divinity, when we look at the people and start experiencing the divinity, when you look within and start experiencing the divinity, all the differences of Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, they dissolve, they melt into the homogeneous gold that the reality is. In this, where is a place for relativity? Where is a place for hell and heaven? Where is a place for sin and merit? Where is a place for birth and death? See? One day in States, one person asked me this question. Swamiji, according to your Hindu religion, you people believe in rebirth. But if we don't believe, then what happens to us? I said, who told you Hindus believe in rebirth? We don't believe in birth. Forget about rebirth. Birth cannot be proved. It is just a step in between. And when our attention goes to this reality, and from that standpoint, you look at the world, what happens? All the past, present and future goes beyond. And that which is expressing as the past, present and the future, that is realized. This is how all the spiritual practice is. First, rise above the world. Second, come to the individual soul level. Then rise above the individual soul, come at the God level. And then rise above the God and come at the absolute level. And from there, again look back. And then you come to know, hey, this world is none other than me. The souls are none other than me. The Creator is none other than me. Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. This absolute reality where the relativity can be imagined, and imagined relativity cannot create any dent of impurity in this absolute. This absolute is the truth. This is the knowledge. In understanding itself, this knowledge is so difficult. Practice will be more difficult. Therefore, Dhananjaya, it is difficult when our mind is running here and there. Even 10 minutes. We cannot focus our mind on the same topic without getting distractions. And then we say it is difficult. You know how our complaints are, it is difficult. A child has been grazing right from the morning. And then it is a time for lunch. So the mother says, Beta, come for food. Mama, no, you have to take food. Unless you take food, your health will not be all right. He is already a round figure now. What more figure you want? No, you should please come and take food. Okay, Mama, I come. Now he comes. Then all the problems begin on the dining table. He has not prepared paratha today. No, on Sunday, normally we prepare kadhi chawal. We are Sindhis, beta, you have forgotten. You go any Sindhi house in the whole universe. If it is a Sunday, it is an international standard menu. rice and Sindhi curry. Once you eat the Sindhi curry, you will go to sleep till. I am talking out of my experience. Today I had that. No, mummy, but I want to have paratha. Now, why this nakhra? Because there is no hunger. See, when we have no hunger to attain perfection, we have all the excuses of difficulties. See, if you are really hungry, no difficulties will crop up. Therefore, all of us, those who are finding it difficult to understand one and more difficult to practice two, and therefore, is there any shortcut? They are cut short. Please remember this. It is not difficult. It is very simple. All the problems are in relativity. In the absolute, there are no problems. So, all the spiritual practice is getting out of the relativity and getting established in the absolute. This is how we introduce each other, isn't it? Who is she? She is my relative. So, from the relative, how do we expect absolute happiness? Relative can give you relative happiness. Or maybe relatively. Absolute happiness is possible only when you are established in this absolute. First. Now, second step. In the absolute, relative is always imagined. It is not real. Husband and wife is a relation. They are relatives. And they are only imagined. No, Swamiji, we are not imagined. We are real husband and wife. Koi sun lega. Real husband and wife. How we become husband and wife? One useless boy, good for nothing, decides to get married. And then he gets a pack of 52 pictures of equally useless girls. It's not only boys are useless, girls are never back. So, he starts looking at, knows this data. In which direction she is looking, I don't know. The forehead is too small. And finally, you hold on to one. And then start thinking, how nice it will be when we go together, when we walk together, the whole world will be looking at us like Lakshmi Narayanas. Only imagination. And then you agree, get married, one by one steps. And after some time, come to realize, I think there was some mistake. We are not made for each other. Then we are mad at each other. Slowly, that first imagination, what a life without a wife, changes. What a life because of the wife. And when that imagination becomes stronger and stronger, then we decide, why not peacefully we fall apart? Because first of all, we have fallen in love. Now let us fall apart. Never rise. And then we separate. Now when we separate, what has happened? First we imagined that she is my wife, he is my husband. Now we imagine she is no more my wife, no more my husband. Both of them are alive. Nobody has died. See, all relations are only in our mind in the form of images. When you get out of this imaginary existence and come to live in the absolute, there are no problems in this world. Panchadashi gives a beautiful example. Woman is the same. When the husband looks at her, when the father looks at her, and when her own son looks at her, the perceptions are different. And therefore the interactions are different. And therefore the experiences are different. And therefore the quality of life is different. See, when the son looks at the same woman as a mother, Matru Devo Bhava. When the father looks at the same woman, my little darling beta, and fill in the blanks. Isn't it? About that, what can I say? I have no authority to say, isn't it? So, what the husband says, I told you this, 3 stages. The first year of marriage, Chandramukhi. Second year of marriage, Suryamukhi. The third year onwards, till they separate or die, Jwalamukhi. See, it is only at the level of the mind, nothing real. Now the third depth, please try to catch this one. If you catch this, ha. You are looking at me and you are thinking that you are seeing me. But no, you are not seeing me. What you are seeing is, my image is falling on your retina, and that retina is illumined by the light of consciousness, and what you are seeing is only my image. So, your knowledge about me is imaginary, not the real one. And the same thing is true with respect to all the sense organs. And therefore, when images are not formed, when the gateways of knowledge are closed as in deep sleep, there are no experiences. There is no relative existence. See? And therefore, when the mind is at peace, even the husband asks, honey, can you get me a cup of coffee, darling? Yes. Chewing gum takes. So, the chewing gum is given coffee by the honey. And when he takes the coffee, by mistake, that honey has given the rasam. Both of them look alike. And the chewing gum is chewing gum. Gum pilane ki. He will not complain because the mind is at peace. No, it happens sometimes. Why will she do like this? She won't do it purposely. Maybe she is busy and she must have heard that I wanted to drink rasam. Who wants to be rasam? But there is tremendous understanding why the mind is at peace. And when the mind is disturbed, angry, frustrated, depressed, rejected, insulted, failure, that time the wife says, honey, we are not gone for a movie for many days. Will we go today? You go. Movie. But what happened to do? Why do you bark? Why don't you talk? Yes, now you see dog in me. When you got married, you were seeing God in me. Now what happened? Time has passed. See? When the mind is disturbed, even the most beautiful thing looks ugly. And when the mind is at peace, most ugly thing looks beautiful, is it not? Is it not all imaginary? And friends, we are all living at the level of these images, at the level of this mind. And we think we are extremely intelligent, living without control over the mind. If we want to see this world as it is, what is required? The instrument and the medium through which we are looking at the world must be a perfect instrument and perfect medium. For example, I put on yellow glasses. So what will be my experience? All of you are suffering from jaundice. Isn't it? Now where is that jaundice? It is neither in my eyes nor on you. Yet I am seeing that because of the medium through which I am looking at you. In the same manner, when the medium is that of relativity, friends and enemies, near ones and the far ones, it's all created. But when we look at the world through the medium of non-dual knowledge, there is no friend, there is no enemy. Can we say, my left leg is my enemy, but the right leg is my friend? No. Because everywhere I alone is. Therefore, friends, scientifically living means living from the absolute standpoint. And unscientific existence means giving the relativity, the status of the absolute. And when this happens, then what I say is right. When I say you are bad, you are bad. The evil. When I say you are good, you are good. Because I decide which is the east and which is the south. Nobody can decide. This kind of relative superiority disappears. And in an absolute abode of peaceful existence, there is nothing but joy, joy and joy. This is how, this is the knowledge and this is what we have to live. Now, when this knowledge is passed on to others, without experiencing in our life, we become philosophers. And when this knowledge is practiced in life, we become wise. With time, we grow old. With this knowledge, we grow wise. If we practice this knowledge in our life. See how important it is. We have knowledge about how many children Lalu Prasad has. Why should we worry such a happy man? You know, all the politicians in our country, if I had to vote for, I'll vote for him. So happy. The world is always like that. You know why? Because he belongs to my Krishna's clan, you know. So, Mai sarvamidam protam sutre mane ganaiva. After having given this knowledge, jnanam, now let us start applying this. Application of knowledge is spiritual practice. And experience of that application is called as realization. So how we start? Now from the 8th verse onwards, the teacher gives 15 experiments. He gives us 15 assignments. Like when we study something, assignments are given. So that the knowledge becomes our own. It doesn't remain that of the teacher. But if the students are terrible, then it's bad. Like remember, there was a teacher, he was teaching the children. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. 22 plus 22 is equal to 44. Then 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Understood? Understood. Now the examples are given, homework. 3895 plus 286. 5, 6 examples are given. Next day the student came, did nothing. Why didn't you do this thing? Sir, simple examples you have done. And difficult you left for me. Why should I do that? Isn't it? So don't imagine that way. Up to here it was okay. But now you are telling this is very difficult. This is difficult if you don't want to learn. Therefore, now here are the assignments of contemplation to convert the knowledge into experience. What are the assignments from 8th verse onward? रसोऽहमप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिसूर्ययोः प्रणवः सर्ववेदेषु शब्दखे पौरुषं दृषु पुण्यो गन्धपृथिव्याञ्च तेजश्चास्मि विभावसौ जीवनं सर्वभूतेषु तपश्चास्मि तपस्विषु बीजं मां सर्वभूतानां विद्धि पार्थ सनातनं बुद्धिर्बुद्धिमतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहम् बलं बलवतां चाहं कामराग विवर्जितं धर्माविरुद्धो भूतेषु कामोऽस्मि भरतर्षभ ये चैव सात्विका भावा राजसास्तामसाश्च ये मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि. In these 4-5 verses, the teacher has given 15 assignments. And we have to practice these 15 assignments when we are interacting with the world. Please remember, Bhagavad Gita tells us how to live. Don't bother what happens after death. People are happy. No. What happens to the dead one? He is buried or burned. Not that. Where does he go? You die and find out. Why you ask me? See? Why not we think about living? Why think about death? A young boy came the other day and he asked this question. Swamiji, what happens after death? I said, I'll be very happy. You will not ask me again this question. He said, no, I am very serious. Please tell me. I said, why don't you ask a question how to live? Living is more important than dying. Death will follow you. Don't worry about death. She will find you out. What we have to do is to live. Please remember, if you want to die, read Bhagavad and learn how to die. If you want to live, study Bhagavad Gita and live dynamically. This is a simple equation. Now, the first example. Raso hamamsu kaunteya, he kaunteya, kunti putra, he Arjun. Like Dhananjaya had a meaning, here kunti putra, kaunteya also has a meaning. The word kunta means extremely sharp. So, kaunteya means he who has extremely sharp understanding. What is the sharp understanding? One day, one person came, Swamiji, please write something for me. I said, the whole book is written. You read in that, what more to write on that? No, please write something. So I write on that. If you can understand my silence, you will understand my words. Swamiji, samajh mein nahi aaya. See? If we are able to read in between the lines, if we are able to discover the meaning in the pregnancy of silence, then alone we are sharp in catching the message. And those who have that, they can catch the divine message even on the passing truck. Isn't it? The message on a passing truck. नेकी कर जूते खा मैंने खाए तू भी खा. See? Very simple. For that you don't have to go to the Satsang and all that. Why? One serious Babaji is sitting there and all are equally serious, as if It is a condolence meeting. Why Babaji is still alive? Satsanga is not a place of living in seriousness that we do in our houses. After coming here, the same thing, repeat performance or what? So, here is a very subtle understanding. Kaunteya. What is the first? Raso hamapsu kaunteya. Apsu in the waters. I am the ras. What is the meaning of rasa? See, there is one word. Rasik bhai. Rasik bhai means he who is able to take interest in everything. Isn't it? And there is another word also. Ye bade arasik hai. Arasik means he doesn't like anything. And there is third word also. Kurasik. Kurasik. Chair. Those who are fitted in the chair. Dhritarashtra. So, rasaha aham apsu kaunteya. Apsu water. Water means jivan. Jivan means life. He who is able to take full involvement in this life and live 24 hours, 100%, understand the Lord is expressing through him. See, no Mahatma you will see leading a dead life, One man comes to me, because I am in the category of Mahatma. One man comes to me. Swamiji, I am so fed up of my wife, I don't know what she wants. I am so fed up. What should I do? He starts crying. As a Mahatma, I respond. You reminded me of wife, and I also start crying. Mahatma ji, what happened to you? I did not have even one wife. Competition? See? A Mahatma is he who is able to discover joy and happiness in and through every interaction of life. Raso hamapsu kaunteya. That is the meaning of see the divine presence in this manner. Train your eyes. The other day, one mother was complaining me about the child. Swamiji, this fellow is so terrible. I am tired. What should I do? I said, do you want a child like this who is like a Gobar Ganesh? See, we complain because we don't understand the divine presence. There is one girl somewhere, a Gujarati girl. I know her for last 10 years. And she is not married and cannot get married because of few reasons. One, she is extremely beautiful. Second, she is extremely intelligent, a rare combination. Third, she has done very high education, MBA, etc. Fourth, she is so successful as a business person that nobody can match her. And when she wants to get married, her problem is, I want somebody who is superior than me, but he should listen to me. I said, Amma, you are seeking an absolutely impossible combination. If somebody is superior than you, he will put you down. If you want somebody to listen to you, go and get married to a bullock. Morning he will get up. Maharani Namo Tubhyam. See how important it is. Therefore, let us lead our life and let that rasa. In Upanishad, the statement is raso vaisaha. Instead of discovering the joy in amras, discover the joy in the khasras, which comes from within, not outside. Raso hamapsu kaunteya. Then prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. Shashi surya. Surya is the daylight and shashi is the night's light. In a school, the teacher asked, who is the most powerful light, sun or the moon? All the children, sun, sun, sun like that. And there is one child sitting like this. Why? Why you don't raise your hand? I don't agree. Why? Moon is more powerful. How? He removes the darkness. Because moon comes in darkness. Sun comes only during the daytime. What is the greatness in that? Intelligent, isn't it? So whether it is the light of wisdom or it is the foolishness of a stupid, in and through everything, the same divinity is expressing. See? How can we not see God? As much the Lord is present in Lord Rama, so much He is present in the Ravana. Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryo. This divine light alone is illuminating the saintliness of the saints and the criminality of the criminals. A dead criminal can never be a criminal. Let us focus attention on that divinity. Let us not get carried away by the relative performance. That is not our business. We have not been appointed by the Lord to label the world as good or bad, as sinner or the saints. That is the job due to someone else. It is not our business. Then, Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu. The essence of all the Vedas is Pranava, is Om. See, if you want to try this, try whenever you are disturbed. Be in your room, sit quiet. We are disturbed, how can we sit quiet? Okay, sit whatever way you like. Sit down. And then sit before the Lord and start chanting Om loudly and a long Om. Don't do like that, Om Bhurbu Swata Sasana, Om Bhurbu Swam, not that like that. Chant slowly. When you thus chant this Om for a long length, Veda means knowledge, the reality. So when you chant this Om, slowly, you gather yourself from the spread in the objective world and come back to the original knowledge, the absolute reality. And from this absolute reality alone, the relativity of names and forms have come out. What I am telling you is from the Mandukya Upanishad. So, Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu, discover that divine reality as your own being. Don't take the mechanical translation. Vedeshu means there are 4 Vedas, and one is the Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and what is the 4th one? Something like that. There's one more. No. Veda means knowledge. When it is said Vedas are apaurushaya, uncreated by any human being, it is the eternal knowledge. And that eternal knowledge expresses the first way as Om. So, Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu, the original sound is Om, and that is the beginning of the creation. So, when you practice this, you try. So, first of all, you do it for a few times and then try to ascertain where from the Om begins when you start. Om. Again, see, where from your beginning? Om. Again, focus attention. Where it is beginning coming from? Om. And when it concludes, Om. Where it has gone back? Hold on to that point. Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu. In every knowledge is the source of divine experience. Kenopanishad says, Pratibodha viditam matam in every bodha, in every knowledge, in every experience, the divinity is revealed. Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. So, but suppose I am not Hindu and I don't like this Om. Suppose I say Yahoo. There are people who are allergic to the divine words. Bhagavan says, never mind. Shabda Khe. Khe means the space. Every sound that is uttered in the space is the manifestation of the same reality. How? Whether you say Om or you say Yahoo, it begins from you. Isn't it? And the word Yahoo, if you technically understand that Ya means that, Who means who. So it becomes a mantra. Who is that? Koham, Koham, Koham. So Yahoo is a Koham mantra. And the reply to this Koham mantra is Soham, Soham, Soham. Once you focus attention on that source and the end of it, you are reaching the reality, Shabdakhe. Therefore, doesn't matter whatever word is uttered, whatever word is heard, every sound is beginning from me, is maintained in me and comes back to me. Then absolute is the reality. Shabdakhe. But to do this all sadhana all the time, aware about the divinity, isn't it we require lot of strength and this thing? Yes, it is required. That strength is also the same reality. Therefore, Paurusham Nrushu. Nrushu among the being. Paurusham, the masculinity of living like a man. You are always against the women. No, body does not make a man and woman a woman. There are many men among the woman body and there are many women among the man body. On the contrary, if you ask me, the real guts, the real commitment, the real dispassion, the real understanding, the real sacrifice, the real ability to lead the spiritual life, as much it is among the ladies, that much it is not among the men. Men are only the creepers hanging on the oak tree called as a woman. Therefore, you will see in any, go in the families, if the old husband and wife are there, and if the wife dies being smart and husband is left behind, his life is most wretched life. And if the husband goes, the wife doesn't collapse. She is able to support herself as well as the others because the guts are there. Therefore, Paurusham Nrushu means the commitment to lead the spiritual life is possible for every one of us if we are dedicated to that cause. Paurusham Nrushu. Discover that inner strength. Punyo Gandha Prithivyancha, and Gandha, the smell. It is not said whether it is intimate or non-intimate. Gandha means the perception of this world through the nose is called as Gandha. I had a friend, he was having an eternal nose block. Always sardi or something or the other. He had some problem with the nose. And he was also very jolly and happy. He used to say, Swamiji, God has blessed me. What happened? He said, for me, in this world, there are only 4 Mahabhutas. Because Gandha I don't catch. Therefore, from my experience point of view, there is only Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. There is no Gandha. So I have already conquered 1 Mahabhut. So that gandha, the smell that we talk of, is not what kind of smell it is, but the smell proper, not the good or the bad smell. Punyo gandha prathivyancha. And tejas chasmi vibhavasau. Vibhavasau, the fire. The heat in the fire is me. See, the heat in the fire, they say this phrase, isn't it? He gave a fiery speech. That doesn't mean fire was coming out. Fiery speech means he who is able to inspire even a dead person to stand and be committed to life. So that ability, tejas chasmi vibhavasau, this tejas is the expression of the purity in any person. See, this tejas, if we have to understand, many times it happens, when we go to some Mahatma with many questions. I want to ask this, I want to ask that, I want to ask this. And we go there. And after we go, what we have to ask? Everything is flat. I don't know, Swamiji, I came with so many questions, This is the problem with you. That person told me. The problem with you. When we come to you, the question disappears. And again the question come and start troubling us. So, tejas chasmi vibhavasau, then jivanam sarva bhuteshu, the life in every being is the divinity. See? Life in every being is divinity. When we practice this, what will happen? It doesn't matter who is how and who is what. Our attention is on the principle of life. Therefore, as much we feel content by eating good food, if we are able to recognize and understand the pangs of hunger of others and also discover the fulfillment in feeding the really empty stomach, then we are focusing attention on jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Tapasya is the readiness to undergo sufferings so that we become more and more purified. Please remember, those who are not ready to undergo difficulties in life, they can never grow spiritually. That is why as much the ladies suffer throughout their life, gents don't. That is why it is very easy for them to understand and catch it. Surrender is easy for the ladies than the gents. There is too much of arguments among the gents. So that tapasya makes us easily available to the divinity. Now what the tapasya does? Two things. One, our dependence on the world is not real, is revealed to us. Like during the Chaturmas, we decide we are not going to eat the onion and the garlics. But how to give tadka with the onion and garlics, I do not know. But now you are married in a Pushti Margi family. So you have to do that. And then you start. And then you come to know really, without an onion and garlic, life is possible. So this illusion that without something I cannot live is removed. Second thing, when we do that, we discover that I also can do it. The self-confidence is generated. So, tapaschasmi tapasvishu, the creation of self-confidence and discovery of independence. When we start practicing this, understand the divinity is being enlightened in you to be revealed. Tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Then, bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam. I am the seed in all the beings. So, seed in all the beings means what? Like without the seed, the plant or the tree cannot come. Without me, nothing is ever existing in this world. Therefore, everything is perceived by us only as existence. Whether it is the steel post, whether it is the camera, whether it is a man, whether it is a woman, whether it is a cow or a buffalo or an aeroplane or a missile, everything is recognized by us as existing. That original existence is the seed of total creation. That original existence, I am among all the things and beings in this world. And buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejasvinamaham. There are 3-4 more aspects of this. Up to here, whatever homework we have done, now again and again repeat it and try to practice. Please remember, there is no proxy. It is not that the homework of your children you do. You know, these various books the children require to be prepared. So the mother goes to the market, buys all those picture things and cuts for the child, and paste is there, and the child takes to the school and gets very good, and they show me, Swamiji, my child has got, in this drawing book, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. Who did it? I did it. So there is no proxy. We have to do it by ourselves. The remaining portion we will take tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.